He's going to give the announcements. Okay, Israel, we're going to be starting in a second. Your brothers and sisters an opportunity to jump in. Okay. What's how we probably could just turn that? Why would it do that?
You just keeping on it on.
Yeah, just keep doing it.
Well, it was frozen.
What was frozen? That wasn't frozen up there.
On the screen, it was frozen.
It's freezing up bad.
Well, why would it keep it? That's what happened on the family thing I said after why would it keep it?
Maybe I think they are probably using Wi-Fi out there. Is it still freezing bad? It's cool now. That's not good. Damn it. No, it's not good, or it's not freezing. It's not freezing, or it's not good. Which one is it? Huh? It's good. It's good. All right. It's good. That's good. Okay, Israel. So, day number 5, all praises. I don't think it's gonna be a long class. We're just gonna try and bring out a few precepts concerning the laws. Okay. But let's open up in Ephesians, the 2nd chapter. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 1. Read that.
This is the book of Ephesians.
Conference recording started.
Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 1.
All right. Go ahead.
And you hath he quickened.
Right. And you have he quickened. Quickened means to be made alive, to be brought back to life. Okay. Because at one point in time, like the curses said, that we were a byword, we were a proverb, we discontinued from the heritage that the Most High gave to us. Israel, you had heritage, you had culture, you had lifestyle. Okay, we had everything. So when we were dead, okay, read the next part.
Who were dead
Right.
in
Who were dead. Now was we literally like in a casket in the ground? No, we wasn't that type of dead. We're taking it slow like this for a reason, to show you that when the scriptures say that we were dead, the things that God got wrote in the scriptures, we dead in those things. So, you know, like somebody say, "You dead to me, you dead to me." Well, we as a people, through slavery, we stopped doing it. And then we pattern ourselves after the customs that was given unto us. The things that they sell on television, those are the things we buy. Some things is good, and you know, a lot of things is bad. Okay. I saw our diet, our dress code, our customs that we keep, like the scriptures say in not Romans, Slakia. Meaning Slakia means sorry, it's a Hebrew word. So apologies. Jeremiah 10, the customs are vain. So even though the scriptures say that the customs of the people are vain, Israel still keep them. So as long as we're keeping those days and not returning back unto the Lord, we're still dead. But those of you that repented and you came back into following the Most High, he has revived you. Okay, so start it over.
This is Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 1. And you had he quickened, who were dead in trespasses and sins.
Right, who were dead in trespasses and sins. So when you read Hosea, it says that after 2 days the Lord will revive us. Let's get that. Hosea the 6th chapter. Shalom. Hosea chapter 6, and start at the top, verse 1.
This is Hosea chapter 6 and 1. Come, and let us return unto the Lord.
You see that? Let us return unto the Lord. So returning unto the Lord does not just consist of you saying it in your mouth how much you love the Lord. I want every brother and sister to listen to these scriptures. They don't need no spin. Nothing is being put on top of it. Nothing is being twisted, nothing being added. We're going word upon word, line upon line, precept upon precept, just like this Bible says. So when you come, that means that you have to gather yourself together. And when you gather yourself together, you have, just like Christ said, you have to search the scriptures. Once you search the scriptures, it says, let us return. Because that shows that Israel as a nation, we went away from the worship of the God of heaven. Okay? We went away from that. And what did we go to? Hold these precepts. Now go to, if you have the Apocrypha, go to 1 Maccabees. It's in the King James 16:11. For those of you that don't have it, you can download it from the Play Store, or you could buy you one. It's called the Apocrypha. Those are the hidden books. Okay. That's 4, right?
Yes. Second Maccabees 4.
Second Maccabees 4. Thank you. Second Maccabees chapter 4. Second Maccabees. Just going. No. It's going to be 1. First Maccabees 1, where they went away from the laws.
And 41. Okay.
First Maccabees 1.
First Maccabees 1 and 41.
Yeah, First Maccabees 1. Okay. Okay. So remember, we're reading in Hosea where it says that we ought to return. We have to return back unto the Lord because we went away. Where did we go? I'm gonna use the scriptures to show you. This is where we went. You know, as a nation under captivity. You know. No, I guess we didn't have a choice. You understand? It tells you that he had torn, the Most High had torn. When you tear, that means you rip something up. He had tore this heritage away from us, but now he's asking us to return back unto it. So, First Maccabees chapter 1 and 41.
First Maccabees 1 and 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom.
Who was a Greek? So this is going into the kingdom of the Greeks. Okay, and what the kingdom of the Greeks, what they did is they went conquering everything that they could that they can conquer until they subdued the territories as much and as far as they possibly could go, as far as that was known to man, to them at that time. They went and conquered everything and everybody. And when he conquered everything, he called all the provinces his kingdom, his realm, his dominion. Go ahead.
That all should be one people.
That now that everybody should be one people. Okay? So there's no more being separated. You couldn't be the Israelites and let them be the Greeks, the Romans, the Edomites. You couldn't be that. It said no. So that's why when you read the New Testament, they were called by the names of Thessalonians, Philippians. What is a Philippian? That's a land. Philippi, that's a land. What is a Philippi? A Thessalonica. That's not a nation, man. So you turned yourself into a Colossian. Okay? This rabbit hole goes deep, man. Deep and deep and deep. Read it from the top.
This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Right. That all should be one people. Okay? So now, hold this and take you someplace else and show you how you stop being the tribes of Israel and you became one people. You became Thessalonians, Philippians, Romans, Colossians, etc., etc. Okay? Psalms 49 and 11.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 49 and verse 11. Their inward thought is.
Their inward thought. Okay? So God is trying to show you what's on the inside of these people's minds. Their inward thought is, go ahead.
That their houses shall continue forever.
That their houses will continue forever. You understand? Go ahead.
And their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own name.
Right. They call their lands after their own names. And so you would leave off from your tribal names and be a Thessalonian. You would leave off from your tribal name and be a Philippian. Be a Corinthian. Be a Roman. You understand? So they named the lands after themselves. Just like Amerigo. Right. Okay. Leo, Africanus. Now you're calling yourself African. You just dropped the first name, Leo Africanus. Leo, you Scipio. You left that part out. They left that part out. Amerigo left that part out. That's the same thing that they did back then. So when we were dead in this land, the Most High said, boom, boom. He put that cardiac arrest machine upon you, boom, boom. He put that brother upon you and had that brother to teach you, to show you who you are, show you your nationality, show you where you come from. You just got to believe it, though. Sometimes this truth hurts. Sometimes this truth, sometimes it's hard to believe. Some of you don't want to believe, but it's documented here. Okay? But the other thing is, we are fighting a fight that's already fixed. Meaning everybody that this thing is meant, you're going to receive it. You brothers and sisters that jumping in here, it's like a saying preaching to the choir. Everybody here, they know this already. There are members here that know this. You understand? They know this thing already. But to new brothers and sisters that don't know, you might find it hard to believe. But you will not be able to prove it wrong. Just did that on us, huh?
You just cut off, huh?
Oh, man. Yeah. If you get it back on, and I just enjoy looking at the picture. All right. So, where we stop at?
We are back in First Maccabees.
No. Did we finish Psalms 49 and 11?
Yeah.
We finished that?
Mm-hmm.
Read it again for them.
This is Psalms chapter 49 and verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
Their inward thought is.
So God is telling you, the nation that's took over the earth, he's telling you what their mind is. So when you read this, you're supposed to be like, man, the Most High is really revealing these people's thoughts to us. You just have to get into the scriptures and read it and understand it. And you got to believe. As Israel, as we repent, we're supposed to believe the scriptures. You're supposed to repent and then question the scriptures. Repent and then be in denial or don't want to hear it. You're like, oh, that's too much for me. I don't want to hear that. You're not supposed to feel like that. Like you don't want to hear information. Information is power. Knowledge is power. And this knowledge is free. This don't cost you nothing. Yeah, this doesn't cost you nothing. Okay? Go ahead.
That their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations.
All right. How you think they're going to get their houses to continue forever? Okay, their name. But that's why the Lord said in Isaiah 14, right? That's 14 and like 30. He going to cut the name off. He going to cut the house off. The nephew, the uncle, the niece, the cousin, the infant. He cutting all of that off. So that house ain't going to continue. So if it doesn't continue, then he's going to stop you from naming yourselves after them. That's why the Lord said, return unto me. He has smitten. He quickened you. He brought you back to life from that situation. You understand? You're supposed to return back unto him and call yourself an Israelite. All right? Hold that. Prove that, man. And you're supposed to do it yourself. Nobody's supposed to make you. I ain't never made no brother or sister change their name. Whatever, a new spirit gonna jump into them, bam. And they're gonna feel like, not like, oh, I'm a prophet David from this. No, you're not David. But whoever you are, that spirit, you're gonna name yourself. You're gonna feel like, I feel like this. You understand? I feel like this. When you was worthless and you felt like SHIT, you said, man, I ain't worth nothing, man. I'm a dope fiend. I'm a robber. I'm a thief. I'm a liar. You named yourself to be a thief. You called yourself a thief. You called yourself a hoe. I'm a whoremonger. You called yourself I'm a player. But now in righteousness, now it's, you know what I need? 45, Isaiah 45. You called yourself that. But now when you return back unto the Lord, man, you're gonna 44 and 5. You're gonna name yourself this thing here. All right.
This is Isaiah chapter 44 and verse 5. One shall say,
I
am the Lord.
I belong to the Lord. Go ahead.
And another shall call himself by the name of Jacob.
Right. You're gonna call, what's Jacob's name was changed to Israel. You're gonna call yourself by the name of Israel. That's why you got these Hebrew names. So you don't let anybody talk down on you because you got a Hebrew name. They say, oh, was you? And then they want to question you. Were you born with that name? Well, what is your real name? Really? Oh my goodness. What is your real name? Huh? So this is not real? This is not how I feel to be? Somebody else can call you Marvin, and that's the real name because that's what they, but you can call yourself something else. You can surname yourself after the name of Israel, and that be not the real name. It is your real name. Okay? Go ahead.
And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel.
Right, so you're going to surname yourself by the name of Israel. That's right, boys are very powerful. Just like if a brother call himself killer, first thing you think, don't feel like he is a killer. Okay? He is a killer. So there's nothing wrong with a brother calling himself after some name that signifies mercy or truth or faithful or diligent or loyal or royalty. You understand? Committed, dedicated, devoted. We always, they have that stigma to where we're not comfortable unless somebody has got some degrading name or quality about themselves. We're not to live like that anymore. And neither are we to look at one another like that anymore. We ought to allow change because the Lord himself said he quickened us and made us alive who was once dead in trespasses. Now that we're not trying to be dead in these trespasses, we have to allow this transition to take place because it's of the Lord. And we can't hinder that. Okay? That going is of the Lord. So now let's go back to Hosea chapter 6. Okay? In verse 1. Come, let us return unto the Lord. And he hath torn and will heal us. So the healing that has to take place is according to the law. See, the Lord, these things came upon us because the transgression of the commandments. You Israelites, you have to understand what befell you because and why. It happened for breaking the laws. You understand? It happened for breaking the laws. Okay? It wasn't that the other nations were bigger than you, they were greater than you, they were better than you, the Lord loved them. No. The Lord said that they are a drop outside of a bucket, man. They ain't the dust on a beam, on a balance beam. That, these things happen to us because we were in sin. So you can't continue to live in sin and expect the Most High to accept you return. Come as ye are. No, that's not a Bible verse. The Lord didn't tell you that you can just live any way that you want to live. Christ said, the Lord is seeking people to worship him spiritually and have a sincere spirit. So if you're going to return unto him, you have to return unto him with a newness of mind. You have to have that that mindset to where you're gonna fully be committed, devoted, and dedicated, like it says in Romans the 2nd chapter. Okay, he has smitten. He smote us. He put us into captivity. Okay, remember the scripture in Deuteronomy 28 chapter, all the curses, the yokes of iron upon your neck, going into you so scared to death to where you was wishing the day was over. I mean, it was horrifying on those plantations. They were raping our sisters, our mothers. They're raping our wives. Most of you that are old enough now to be married and have children, do you think they care that you got a baby by this woman? They were freaking mad because she fathered a baby by you. You had a beautiful woman, a nice looking woman, or whatever. Hey, they raped that woman, and you didn't have nothing to do. You know, what was that one movie where they sent Birth of a Nation?
Yeah.
They sent for the brother's woman. Gabrielle Union played it. The middle of the night. The dude, the Edomite, was just having a party or something, and they sent for the man's woman. It was nothing he could do. The Most High, man, allow that thing to happen. Let's bring that out and show that in the scriptures. Deuteronomy chapter 28. Y'all think that just happened because the people that had power, huh? Deuteronomy chapter 28, read first verse 15, then we'll get to the point.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right, jump down to verse 30.
Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife.
Now you're going to go through the process of getting a woman. You love that woman. You're going to be happy. You're going to have the little ceremony inside of the village with the woman. And then what happened? Go ahead.
And another man shall lie with her.
That's right. And the other man going to lie with her. What other man was lying with her? See, we, among ourselves, we knew right from wrong. The other man was an example of what you saw. And then what was the other one? Where they were in the field.
12 years a slave.
12 years a slave. They were in the field, and the master coming from a hard day. So he could have just been horny out in the field. Thinking, he said, shit, I'm going to go to the hut. He walking towards the spot and just grabbed the woman and said, come on, shit. The man and his son is out there, and the father's like, Dad, what's up, Dad? What you gonna do? Just took the woman right into it. It probably was, and guess what? It had to be their house. Because he lived in a big house. He didn't live in that little raggedy house. So he went and screwed the man on his couch, man. That's a curse that the Most High smote Israel with. He put us in situations like that for those things to happen. Why? So for all of you that's out there breaking the commandments, you still think that you don't have to keep the commandments? You dead then. You are brain dead. You are spiritually dead. If you think that you can just live in this world and don't keep these commandments, you are nuts. Another man shall lie with your woman, man. That's what happened. Go to the book of Baruch. Baruch chapter 1 and verse 17.
This is Baruch chapter 1, verse 17. For we have sinned before the Lord and disobeyed him.
Right, for we have sinned and disobeyed him. Go ahead.
And have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our God to walk in the commandments that he gave us openly. Since the day that the Lord brought our forefathers out of the land of Egypt unto this present day, we have been disobedient unto the Lord our God, and we have been negligent in not hearing his voice.
Negligent. You know what negligence is, man? That means you have neglected. You heard it. You just say, man, I'm not going to do that. In your mind, you're like, I'm not doing that. Okay. He said, well, we're going to see who's going to hurt the most. Read.
Verse 20.
Right.
Wherefore the evils cleaved unto us.
That's right. That's why it happened, man. So you didn't think that it was fair. But the Lord said, hey, do I have your attention now? So I believe he has our attention now. That's why we sitting here listening and we learning, because he's got our attention now. So now, even today, if you break in the commandments, these curses, they're going to cleave unto you. Read.
And the curse.
And the curse. The curse is going to cleave unto you. The things that are written in Deuteronomy chapter 28, those curses going to cleave unto you, man. They're going to jump on you. All you got to do is just do it once. Just break one of them. See, here's the thing. The Lord, he knows that you could do it, because he proved it by putting his son in the same situation that you live in today. Captivity, under some murdering, barbaric, demonic people. You understand that? Put him in the same situation. He didn't give him no favoritism or nothing. He did grow to his ministry grew to the point to where he performed miracles, but that was because he was obedient. But even being obedient, he was chastised. He was afflicted. And it wasn't just the day that he was going to be put to death. When you read Isaiah 53, it tells you, man, that he was a man with many sorrows and he was acquainted with grief. People talked bad about him. When they saw him, they didn't desire him. They hid their face. They did all manner of things that like what people do to us. When you know this truth, you come to this truth, you live in the truth. They don't like you, this, that, and the third. They make you feel bad. They talk about you. You understand? But they didn't stop him. He held fast the course. He stayed the path. You understand? So now, Baruch 1:20, wherefore the evils clave unto us and the curse. Go ahead.
Which the Lord appointed by Moses his servant at the time that he brought our fathers out of the land of Egypt.
Jump down to verse 21.
Nevertheless, we have not hearkened unto the voice of the Lord our God.
So some of you think that you listening to the voice of the Most High, but you have to listen unto the voice of the Most High according to this. Go ahead.
According unto all the words of the prophets.
You see that? According to all the words of the prophets. So when brothers are teaching you the scriptures and they're saying, listen, thus says the Lord, guess what, Israel? You have to do it. You can't make a choice and say, I'm going to pick and choose on what I want to do. You can't do that. You have got to do what this Bible says to do. And when we come out the scriptures and tell you the Most High said to do something, to do this and to do that, then you have to do it, because that's the voice of the Lord speaking to you. Verse 22.
But every man followed the imagination of his own wicked heart.
He followed the imagination. He's like, oh man, this is how I think things should be. This is how I think things should be. So let me do what I feel is best for me. And when you got millions of people, then you got millions of imaginations. And therefore, you have total, complete chaos in the nation of Israel. that will not listen unto the prophets that sent unto you to tell you this is what the Lord said. These are his commandments, his laws, and his statutes, and his judgments. All right. And it got so bad to where there was no truth, no mercy, no knowledge of the Most High in the land. So it was big wickedness, lying, stealing, killing, committing adultery, Israel killing each other, murder, you understand, striving back and forth. Everything that you possibly can think of, it was complete chaos. All right. Go ahead.
To serve strange gods.
Right, to serve strange gods. In order to deal with another God, you would have to bring in the nations. You'd have to bring in the nations. Because the Most High was not the God of all the other nations. You understand? He was the God of the Hebrews. And all the other nations were to follow the examples of the Hebrews that they learned from us. But the Most High spent his time trying to continue to keep us in line by the mouth of the prophets. And it just didn't pan out that way. Remember, the Most High's like this. He gonna step back. You know the thing that y'all say free will? He gonna allow you to make a decision, but then turn around and tell you what he know that you should choose. You should choose life that you should live. But while he's like this, he's gonna see if you're gonna follow the prophet or you're gonna follow the bait. You're gonna take the bait, you're gonna take the snare, you're gonna take the trick, you're gonna take the wiles. Okay, Psalms 96. It's gonna tell you. Are you gonna follow the nations?
This is Psalms chapter 96, verse 4.
Right. Give him a moment.
This is Psalms 96 and 4. For the Lord is great and greatly to be praised. He is to be feared above all gods. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but the Lord made the heavens.
Right. So all the nations, all the gods of the other nations are idols. So it was, you understand? So in order for you to end up dealing with another God, you would have to get that ideology from spiritual fornication, from, you understand, just like an unfaithful woman. You understand? Or a whoremongering man that will go astray. You'd have to go and dally with the other nations. Okay? I think what I want is, I think it's Micah.
Yeah.
Bear with me, Israel. Micah 4. Micah chapter 4 and verse 5. Right, to show you that in order for you to get caught up with another God, you will have to deal with the other nations.
This is Micah chapter 4, verse 5. For all people will walk every one in the name of his God.
Right, for all people will walk every one in the name of his God. So so-called white man had a God. Okay. The African, they had many gods. That's why the Lord destroyed Egypt. You understand? And all the different plagues that are written in the book of Exodus, those were the Father, the Most High, the God of Israel, destroying all the gods of Egyptology. You understand? He made an open show that no one could withstand. No one could withstand the God of the Hebrews. He is the God that made the heaven and earth. Okay. So the Arabs got a God. So everyone would walk in the name of his God. Go ahead.
And we will walk in the name of the Lord our God forever and ever.
That's right. So that shows you that there's a separation, and we were to walk in the name of our God. So now when you go back to the book of Baruch, that's what we left off at, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 and 22.
Baruch 1:22. This is showing you how far we went away, and why the curses fell upon us. Because we wouldn't return back unto the Most High. We went out there and we got stuck. We went out there and we got stuck. Another thing that we did when we were out there was what? When we were out there, I give you a hint. It's something that we fail for. What do we fall for? 1 Kings 11. Okay, 1 Kings 11 and verse 1. Read that.
This is 1 Kings chapter 11 and verse 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women.
Right, he loved them. So Israel, you fell. A lot of our foreparents, they fell in love. Very quietly enter into the room. Okay. Trey. Mm-hmm. Very quietly enter in. Sometimes y'all brothers and sisters have more respect for the damn library, man. Or Esau's court. I just come into the boom, 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 boom. Y'all quench the spirit when y'all do that. So Solomon, he loved many strange women. Okay? It's a bunch of points, man, I had. Go ahead, though.
So, this is 1 Kings 11 and 1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh.
Right, together with the daughter of Pharaoh. So, this is easy. It's wrote in a book. But at the same time, when you get involved with this woman that's of another nation, it's not so easy to put her aside. But the Lord said from the beginning, Israel, you was never supposed to do it. Because according to, what was that? Micah 5 and 4 was?
Micah
4 and 5. So the nations, if you're old enough to get married, you were old enough to be taught something. So now as a woman, she come up, she was taught to walk in the name of her God. And so when you deal with this woman, she already has that in her mind. She wants one thing from you as a man. She wants the ride. She wants a good time. That don't mean that she wants to not believe in her God. And the spirit, the scriptures already brought it out in Psalms 96:4, that it's an idol. It does not exist. You understand? It's the work of men's hands. It's not a creator. It does not exist. It's worthless. It's vanity. So now you got a woman with some vain stuff on her mind because the God of the Hebrews is the only God that exists. Those are the things that the Most High quickened you from, man. Okay, what else you got?
Women of the Moabites,
So Chinese,
Ammonites,
Japanese,
Edomites,
whites,
Zidonians, and Hittites.
all Hamites. So these people, they grow up to be adults in their mind. They have a way of worship already. They got something that they believe in already. Go ahead.
Of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel,
Go ahead.
ye shall not go in to them.
You can't go in to lie down with them. You can't go into the marriage chamber with them, man. Okay? So now, is that it?
Neither shall they come in unto you.
Neither can they come to you. So when they come on to you, you're supposed to say no. You're supposed to be fascinated that the so-called white woman, oh, she likes me. And she's nice. She's giving me play. She's drunk and she's drunk and willing to do a BJ. The heck is this? Cave dwellers, man. You can't do that. What are we reading? We're reading the Bible. We're reading the Bible. Is that it?
For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods.
Exactly. Because they're going to make you think, that there's nothing wrong with what they're doing. You're going to compromise. All right. So now let's lose that. Go back to Baruch 122. Then we'll go back to 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and show you what Israel consented to it. And then we'll go back to Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, to show you what the Lord said. Or we'll go back to Hosea 6, then Ephesians, to what the Lord said. He woke you up from this.
This is Baruch chapter 1 and verse 22.
And then before you finish, most of you, not most, but there's a lot of Hebrews, you do you do something very disgusting. What do you think I'm gonna say? You do something very disgusting. You lust after evil things. Most of you you'll get into these videos, you get into YouTube, and you get into these pictures, and these are women of other nations that the Lord said you. And see, the sad part about it is you can't never do it. Why would you entertain something you ain't gonna never be able to do? You look at them kissing each other. That's an abomination. The Lord said they're going to be destroyed. When you read Romans, the 1st chapter, He's going to plague them with diseases. You ever saw the disease part of the situation? You never look up the disease part. You see them kissing, tongue kissing and touching one another and bumping and grinding and touching, looking at pornography. And don't really realize that you have disconnected yourself from the Father. Looking at women that you cannot have. Red women. Asian women. You ain't even supposed to be looking at the Israelite women that have strayed away doing that. You ain't supposed to do that, man. Because when you do, you create a battle for yourself. When you read Timothy, Paul is telling Timothy that no man that warred entangle himself. Why would you go and get entangled in something that you trying not to do? That's like a dog returned to his vomit. As a child, I kept a dog. And I used to see the dogs get sick. I mean, they would throw their whole stomach up, man. And then regardless how it smells or how it looks, they would lap it back up, man. That's how we are, like dogs return to the vomit. The Most High tell you that these people, he's going to destroy these people, but no. You don't see it that way. In ancient days, the Most High always plagued us. That's why we were in captivity. That's why we got dogged out. Because you love them more than you love these instructions. What do you think tore the kingdom in half? He tore it up from Solomon, man. We just read what Solomon was doing, man. He loved strange women. So if all of this got our foreparents in trouble, why would we have the audacity to be like, oh, she's so fine. I'm looking at her breasts. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at that. Why would we do that? Ain't no prophet of the Lord gonna look at no white woman. So-called white woman. They ain't white. They ain't pure. And know why most of you probably look. You probably look because you're something that you felt you never had or you ain't gonna get it. So you like, I'm gonna look and see what it's like. It's an abomination. It's like being burned with thermonuclear lava. It's not for you, man. He didn't create that woman for you. Look in the mirror, and whatever you look like, that's what he created a woman that looked just like you. You're supposed to be with a woman that looked just like you. Anything else is self-hate. I don't want to hear it, man. It's the Bible. It's self-hate. You're going to have to humble yourself to it. If you want to survive and be comfortable with yourself and not convicted, then you're going to have to deal with the realization that that's wrong. And once you settle down and you prepare yourself first to deal righteous with the judgments of the Lord and stop sinning against him and sinning against yourself and sinning against other people, the Most High will put somebody in your life that you could deal right with. But until then, you ain't going to be ready for nobody. I mean, you love the videos, man. People, they can't fulfill what these demons in the video was doing. They can't fulfill that lust. A lot of brothers, you can't even love your woman and deal with your woman right because you watching a video. Your woman don't look like that on the video. This woman has aborted. She's a doggone serial killer. She's aborted baby after baby to keep her stomach flat. And your woman got a pouch because she had your seed, your strength, your son, your daughters. And now you don't want the woman with the pouch, but you want the woman that is a serial killer. Do you know what this woman is doing? You don't know that they be there. When they abort them babies, they put them things up in their man and they cut them babies loose, brother. They pull a leg out. Then they pull another leg out. Then they go up in there and snatch what they can. They pull an arm out. They count the pieces, brother. They pull a torso out. Then they get the head and crack the head, brother, and pull the head out. And then they assemble the pieces upon the table to make sure that they got the whole baby. Then they scrape the wall and pull all of that stuff out. The placenta, they pull all of that out, and they got it out and send her home tender and sore. Her stomach is flat. But then she showed back up in a photograph talking about she's sexy, and that's what you like. But the woman that didn't do that, that's not a serial murderer, so she didn't have 4 of your babies. Stretch marks, bellies, and stomachs and all, and willing to listen with you. But she don't have that same sex appeal no more. In your eyesight, she don't. But she still is sexy. She still is beautiful. She's called your wife, brother. And you would see it like that if you get off the internet. Stop gazing and looking upon women. You would see it like that. You would see the beauty inside of her. And she'd humble herself to be everything that you possibly need and want. If you just give her the opportunity in every moment that you give the damn electronic. You can't have that stuff out there, man. You got to let that go. You brothers falling into lust, you got to let that go. Because you're not, you still dead unto the Lord. You just got the book. You in the stage, man. Wait, there's a pause, but there's no life. Sisters, the same thing. Stop degreeing. Stop playing yourself. All right. Got so far into that. Where we stop at?
Baruch 122.
Baruch chapter 122. Yeah, good precept. Bring that out. The book of Baruch chapter 122.
This is Baruch 1:22. But every man followed the imagination of his own wicked heart.
That's right. When you follow the imagination of your own wicked heart, you do what you want to do. Despite, thus says the Lord. And then when the Lord penalizes you, you think it's too much so you can bear it. This is too much. I can't bear it. But what did he tell you? Get Ecclesiasticus. See, we're going to come in here and break it down and explain it to you so that y'all can understand. And that's up to you to believe it. I'm praying that you believe it. I'm rooting for you. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 8.
This is Ecclesiasticus 7 and 8. Bind not one sin upon another.
Don't do one is what he's saying. Go ahead.
For in one.
Listen to what the Bible is saying. I want to slow it down so y'all could understand. They're going to say it's frozen. For in one. You're going to have to give an account, man. Do y'all understand this thing? When you make that conscious decision to tempt the Lord, He's going to say, okay. For in one. Go ahead.
Thou shalt not be unpunished.
Man. You ain't going to be unpunished. A week ago, we did the class about the Lord remembers. He remembers. Say not, the Lord will look upon the multitude of my oblations. You know what the oblations is? I gave this up. I gave that up. He's going to say, but you didn't give that up. You understand? Some of you might have stopped. You stopped going to nightclubs. Some of you might have stopped, smoking Primos. Some of you might have stopped. What else they stopped doing? So you stopped doing Christmas. But you didn't stop the other stuff. What if you didn't stop fornicating? You still got a friend with a benefit. That person ain't in the truth, ain't thinking about the truth, but they dress nice. And they give you money from time to time. Okay. All the other stuff you got is irrelevant. That's what this precept is saying. He ain't gonna look upon that. And when I offer to the Most High, He will accept it. The Lord said, no, He's not gonna accept it. He's not gonna accept it to overlook the things that you are made conscious of. You understand it? You are made conscious of this thing. Read the next part. No. No, that's it. Right. Verse 5, Ecclesiastes 5 and 4.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 and 4. Say not, I have sinned, and what harm hath happened unto me?
Right. Because some of us, we feel that we've been sinning and we don't think that any harm is going to happen or it's not that bad. Because what is he trying to do? We started out in Ephesians. He's trying to wake us up from that sin. He's trying to quicken us from that sin. And you ask, well, what harm has happened? Go ahead. For the Lord.
For the Lord is long suffering, he will in no wise let thee go.
Right. In other words, God is patient. You understand? He's able to not move. You know how sometimes people go from 0 to 100 very fast? They get ticked off easy. The Lord said He's not like that. You know what I'm saying? He can let you walk into failure because of the stuff that you're doing wrong. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 5. Concerning propitiation.
Propitiation is the act of being remorseful. You know you see your wrong, you say, oh man, I'm so sorry. It's my bad, this, that, and the other. Go ahead.
Be not without fear to add sin unto sin.
Right. So now if you're sorry, that means don't go and do something different. Okay. So you can't say, well, I repented from this sin, but then I'm going to allow that sin to happen. Neither can you make excuses. Neither can you make excuses like, I know I got to get better. Everybody knows that we have to get better. But working out your own salvation, you have to be the type of person to where you're not going to excuse yourself from, trying to perform the thing that is right in the sight of the Lord. We know that's for us to be graceful and merciful towards one another and patient, but we have got to be a hard critic on ourselves. We have to hold ourselves accountable because other people are definitely holding us accountable. And they expect us to perform the things that they understand that we understand. Okay, go ahead.
Verse 6. And say not, his mercy is great. He will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him.
Right. So the Bible says that the Most High is able to be merciful, and He's also able to bring forth judgment. And that's why we have good days and bad days. Some things happen for us, and then some things, they don't go our way. And we'd be like, why? Because the Most High be judging us, and His indignation rested upon sinners. So that indignation is the violent hate. When He is forward to us, things, they don't work out. And sometimes people, man, they get the worst. Some people be like, man, they lose their jobs, they lose their car. You understand? They fall terminally sick. I mean, we all run into our infirmities, man. But I mean, these people, there are people out there, man. They get infections, diseases. They get shit that just, their lives be corrupted, man. It's like death. Like their life be like over, man. It's like, man, I can't function. So when it says it rested, man, it's gonna be there. To rebuke the sharp disapproval will be a reminder in your life not to go astray and that you went astray from them. So how do you avoid that? Simply by keeping the scriptures. Verse 7.
Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day.
Right. So you can't say, some people like, hey, I'm gonna get myself together and then, brother, I'm gonna do this. Or I'm gonna get myself together and then I'm gonna be right. No. You get yourself together by taking heed. That's the precept you quoted earlier. Brother on the line quoted the precept earlier. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed. You get yourself together by taking heed. You can't be like, oh, like I'm gonna go somewhere different to get right to come to the school, or I'm gonna go somewhere different to get right. You understand, to be a better person for you. If you sick, then yeah, you can go into the hospital, because if none of us are physical doctors to where we understand how the body functions, then we need to go and get some herbs and medicines and IVs and stuff like that. You understand, monitoring and tests and stuff like that. But for the most part, you should not be saying, I'm gonna get myself together first and then I'm gonna come. Because whatever sin you're doing, you have to come so that you can hear the scriptures that's going to tell you how to overcome that sin. Because it's going to tell you, it's going to show you why you're sinning, and it's going to help explain to you that the things that you're doing is putting you in a place to where this sin is happening. Say, for instance, if you were somebody that, I think most people, a lot of people in Israel are still smoking. You're doing drugs or smoking. There's a lot of weed smokers, and you justify that. But even in justifying it, you know that according to the scriptures, that it's all wrong. I mean, there are some that's you're just gonna meet your maker, man, and he's gonna show you that that's not supposed to be. But then there are some that smoke and they're trying to stop. And so when you show up, we're going to show you, help you go through your life and see that, hey, the people you hang around, if they helping you, man, they're helping you to smoke. You're trying to stop. You got to be tough on yourself. So if you're trying to be tough on yourself, you can't go around somebody that's weak. They're going to be laughing and smiling and enjoying themselves, ignorant to the fact. They'll be giving it to you free. I mean, they invested in that type of life. So, I mean, they'll easily take $100 and have it in their pocket, of $100 full of marijuana and blunt papers and all of that stuff, man. And be rolling it up. I mean, you there in the passenger side trying to quit. And they just blowing it. And you trying to quit. So it takes somebody to show and tell you that that's the person that you don't need to be around. Because the person that has the drugs, they're not going to say, yo, brother, don't come around me, man. You're trying to quit. I'm not. They're not going to tell you that. Why? Because Satan don't cast out Satan. If he did, his kingdom would be what? Fall, man. It'd be overthrown. So Satan ain't gonna tell you don't come around me. Satan it doesn't work like that. So it's gonna take somebody else to tell you that instead of getting that ride home after work, you need to get on the bus. There are plenty of brothers. These brothers in the school without cars, they catch the bus. No matter how late it is, they catch the bus. No matter how cold it is, they catch the bus. So, brother, you might have to catch the bus. This is my ride, though. You end up high. Before you got out, you just, I hit the blunt once. Brother, you slurped the vomit up, man. Even though you didn't finish. It ain't like you didn't want to. He just wasn't going to smoke his whole blunt with you. So you hit it a couple times and you got out. You got that free high. You never changed. See? So there's no way, you can't get yourself together, then come. You come to get yourself together. We're gonna help you see where you going wrong at. That which I see not, teach thou me. We're gonna show you, man, where you going wrong at. Help you figure it out. Because to you, your mind ain't functioning because you high. Your mind ain't functioning right. To you, you don't think that you can get on the bus. Pull an app up on the phone, brother. Map it out. No, I'm saying, your brother finna do it. That's what we're gonna tell him. Shit. Map out the bus. Do it in advance. You're gonna have to layer up because you're gonna be out there. Yo, brother, why don't we go look for you a coat? Because now you got to stay on the bus stop. Take the brother, help him get a coat. My brother, prepare. You got to prepare for war. Because now you can't get in that dope car. You get what I'm saying? Nobody else told you this. Nobody else told you this. See what the truth told you, man? Now, the Most High give you a spirit, and now your spirit is stronger, and now you see. So when you read Ecclesiastes 7:5, you have no excuse. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. I'm going to do it eventually. For suddenly shall what? The wrath of the Lord come forth. What is the wrath of the Lord? You end up smoking something, man, that's too strong. It fries your brain, man. It was laced with something. They spray chemicals on this stuff. Or you get drop tested at the job because you there and you hurt yourself. While you were sober, you see, look at how the Most High will set you up. You could be sober and hurt yourself and get drug tested. And now you still gonna piss dirty. And because you got dirty urine, they're gonna terminate you. Because they don't want to pay, what is that stuff they call once you hurt yourself? They don't want to pay workman's comp. They're gonna say you on drugs. They're not paying for the accident. They're gonna say this accident was induced by you. It was caused by you because you were under the influence at work. And you know, when they make their determination where you're going to be at, you ain't going to be nowhere filed so where you can argue back. You're going to be at home when you get that news. Who you going to fight with? You going to come up to the job and risk security, arresting you? And the cops, they shooting you on sight now. You cause any problems, boom, 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 boom. Y'all see the video where the cop was chasing the Edomite around? Just chasing him and chasing him. They wouldn't even shoot him, chased him. He jumped in the car and was running. The cop didn't even bust one fire. Didn't fire one bullet. But shit, let that happen to you. Let that happen to you. Trip because they said they ain't paying workman's comp. You terminated. You was high on the job. You crashed this. You dropped that. You broke this. You hurt yourself. You got cut. You got hurt. Something fell on your foot. This, that, and the third. Go up there tripping and see don't you get a bullet in your ass. Boom! Yeah, you won't catch one. Some heat. The wrath of the Lord gonna come forth, man. That's the wrath of the Most High. When you lose your job, wrath of the Lord. And then what? Thy security, that should be destroyed. So you was comfortable. You thought you had it all sold up, man. And perish in the day of vengeance. All those things happen. All right. So now, Baruch 1:22.
This is Baruch chapter 1 and verse 22. But every man followed the imagination of his own wicked heart.
Man, I can't stop thinking. And every time that scripture, Shalom, every time that comes out, whatever you're doing that's not according to scriptures, you're just doing your own thing, man. Every man followed the imagination of his own heart. Okay, whether it's the way that you dress, the Most High tell you a way to dress. You do what you want to do. Okay. Check this out. Deuteronomy chapter 22. The imagination of his own heart. Deuteronomy chapter 22. Where y'all think I'm going? Verse 11, right.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts.
Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts. You can't follow the imagination of your own heart, meaning you got something, you like something. This is a nice shirt. This is a nice shirt. This is a nice dress. This is a nice jacket. Read it again for him, brother.
This is Deuteronomy 22 and 11. Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts.
Can't do it, man. Can't do it. So them clothes y'all got, that stuff ain't no good. This is a law. You have to go through that stuff and go through your closet and put that stuff into a bag and put in the garbage. You can't pass it down to your cousin, your aunt, your cousin, your nephew. I'm gonna get this to my brother, my nephew. No, can't do that. Read it again for him.
Deuteronomy 22 and 11.
Deuteronomy 22 and 11. Shalom.
Thou shalt not wear a garment of diverse sorts.
Go ahead.
As of woolen and linen together.
As of woolen and linen together. You understand? So you look on that tag. Every time you go grab something and you look at, when you shop for your clothes, you go through the rack, you must look at the tag. When you see the outside of it, you're like, oh, this is nice. I like this. This is my taste. This is the imagination of my heart. I can actually see myself with this. This is an outfit. The first thing you must do is while it's on the hanger, or pull it off. Start going through it. The tag is going to be at the top or it's going to be on the side. You understand? Find the tag. And it has to be 100%. If it's not 100%, just walk away from it. Because of this right here, Deuteronomy 22 and 11. You understand that? You can't walk in the imagination of your, oh, the Lord doesn't care. He's not going to judge me. He's not going to judge me based upon my clothes. I don't think. See, that's where you go wrong at. You don't think. The Lord said his thoughts are not your thoughts, man. You have to be trying to get after his mind. He ain't following your mind. Look at you. You ain't thinking. You just said, I don't think. I don't think. You're not a thinker. You're not a thinker. You let him do the thinking. He's going to tell you, you're supposed to do what? The listening. You're supposed to do the listening up in this thing, man. I don't think. He don't want you to think. He wants you to listen. He wants you to give the more earnest heed to this situation. That's just an example. We go through these laws, he say, hey, man, don't do that. What's another law? Let's name something strange. Something that Israel might not get into the detail with this thing. I'm so sick and tired of bringing out lineups. They gonna line up themselves anyway. When we get them bumps. They always do that. Stop it. Lining yourself up, mowing yourself up. Do you see? I'm not looking like Sasquatch. My hair, my beard didn't grow up past her. It stopped, man. I know it's kind of wide, but that's where it stops at by itself. Let's do something different other than lineups. They already know they ain't listening. But it doesn't matter. Guess what? If you don't listen to lineups, you ain't gonna listen to nothing else. You still cherry picking. You a cherry picker. How you cherry? Named Barry. Call him Barry.
Eating raw meat.
Eating raw meats? Okay, where's the law? Genesis 9, you get that one. And Genesis 17, neither one. Genesis 9.
It says Genesis chapter 9. You said 17.
Well, let's get no, we'll get Leviticus 17. I think that's the one you want. Leviticus 17.
This is Leviticus chapter 17.
And 14.
Leviticus chapter 17 and verse 14. For it is the life of all flesh. The blood of it is for the life thereof.
Right, the blood thereof is for what? The life. So now when you break that down, when you understand that, the scripture is trying to tell you that if blood is in the meat is what? Alive. The meat is alive. That's what keeps that beast alive. The blood. All right? Go ahead.
Therefore I said unto the children of Israel, ye shall eat the blood of no manner of flesh.
Right. You see, so when you see the children of Ammon, Moab, Edomites, and any Canaanite, when you see them eating that, you can't covet after their ways. And the scriptures say, envy not the sinner. They're in sin. They didn't follow the laws of their fathers. Your Moab and Ammon, who was their father? Okay, did they follow Lot? No, they didn't. Okay, Canaan, who was their father? Ham. So who was Ham's father? Noah. So did they follow their father's laws? No. You understand? So the children of Israel, you're supposed to follow Jacob. Did Jacob follow his father Isaac? Esau, did Esau follow his father? No. Ishmael, did Ishmael follow his father? Who was his father, Dre? Abraham. Hey, so none of these men, none of these nations, they followed. All right, they followed. They never followed that thing. All right. Go ahead.
For the life of all flesh is the blood thereof. Whosoever eateth it shall be cut off.
Right. See that? So the Lord is saying, if you know to do this, and you just say, the heck with this law, I want my I want my meat medium rare. You can't do that. You can't do that. Okay? Everybody understand that? Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
I see something, sis, Lalia, I see something different in that. Like Leviticus, I mean, not Leviticus, Exodus 23. and 19. Let's talk about that. I heard this before.
This is Exodus chapter 23.
And then give them a chance to get it. Tell them where you at.
Exodus chapter 23 and verse 19. The first of the first fruits.
No. Exodus, what I say?
23, 19.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Exodus 23 and 19. The first of the first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring into the house of the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not seethe a kid in his mother's milk.
Right. Thou shalt not seethe the kid in his mother's milk. That's exactly what they're talking about. See, when you seethe something, what does it mean to seethe something?
Boil.
To boil it. And remember we were watching Friday. Well, we wasn't as a congregation, but remember the show Friday, and they was talking about the ribs and stuff like that. Stay with me, man. They're gonna do. Remember they was talking about the ribs, and they was saying how the guy that had the rib shot, why his ribs were so tender. Do you remember that part? And then he was like, they say he was boiling them.
Yeah.
He said, man, he boiled his ribs.
Yeah.
So anytime, do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
They said, man, he boiled his ribs. So anytime you boil the meat, you soften it up. It's like a tenderizing. So then you can boil it, and then you can turn around and put them in the oven with that heat, and then you can baste them with the barbecue sauce, and boy, that meat fall off the bone. Or you can turn around and grill it and make it crisp by putting some fire to it. You know, if you a meat master or whatever. So what I see is exactly saying to tenderize, because let's go to Exodus. Bear with me. Concerning the Passover, well, he told him to deal with the meat. He told him to roast it with fire.
12.
Because the instructions were specific. Yeah, Exodus chapter 12. And well, you can start at verse. Well, we know from I just want to get to the point. Exodus 12 and 8.
This is Exodus chapter 12 and verse 8. And they shall eat the flesh in that night, roast with fire.
Go ahead.
And unleavened bread.
So they got to roast it with fire. Listen to the instructions. That roast with fire. Go ahead.
And with unleavened bread and with bitter herbs.
So that's the menu. That's why every Passover, that's the menu. It's the only thing that we eat on that day. You have the meat, the unleavened bread, and you have the bitter herbs. And it be roast with fire. And if you notice it, because it's roasted with fire and there's no other process or no flip dip did to it, be a little tough. Go ahead.
They shall eat it. Eat not of it raw.
Go ahead.
Nor sodden at all with water.
Not sodden at all. You understand? You can't soak it. You can't boil it with water. You cannot try and tenderize it. Here is using the word sodden. You understand? You cannot make it pleasurable. Okay? With water. This is the lamb. You can't try and juice it up because it's tough. The Messiah is going to go into the Messiah in his life. So the way that meat was meant, it was meant to be tough. Okay? because it represents the Lord. So everything that we do is symbolic to something. So we have to learn what does this signify when you're doing this stuff? What does this signify? And then learn to get the good grief out of it and be like, because check this out. If you're like, now you get to just have the meat tough, but if you had to actually went through his steps to where he did that, man, it would be a lot worse than just some tough meat. Okay? But go ahead.
But roast with fire.
But roast it with fire. See, here it says just, no, you can't sod it up with the water. So when we go back to Exodus 23, and it's talking about don't seethe that kid in the mother's milk. Don't tenderize that kid. You can't, because you don't take, for some reason, the Lord's like, that's completely off. You understand? Because they are connected together with one another. So you wouldn't do that. Okay? Is that it? But roast with fire.
But roast with fire.
So now let's go back to what was that?
We were in Exodus 23.
Exodus 23 and
19.
19, the latter precept.
So this is Exodus 23 and verse 19.
Because he's giving you laws and ordinances on how to dwell and deal. Because you know what, you would milk cows. You would milk cows. You understand? And then turn around and what to do with this milk. So the Lord's saying, don't be creative and then take that kid and tenderize it. What is this? Oh my God. I like my tacos with cheese. Right. Because a lot of people, they're trying to say you can't have a cheeseburger. No, I'm not getting that. That's like something totally different. You understand? You can cook that. Remember, everything according to that dietary law is good. That's a lawful beast. That's a lawful animal. That's a lawful animal. So the milk that you take, when you cook with that milk, that's a lawful animal. You just can't cook the kid. You can't cook the mother's kid with that milk. But when you make whatever you make using with that thing, that's fine. But you just cannot put those two things together. You cannot tenderize the calf with the mother's milk. The Lord's like that. That's just, he says wrong. So I mean, it's wrong is wrong. But I don't see that the Lord is saying don't make cheese from it, and then take cheese and put it on top of a burger. Well, if you get technical, the two beasts gonna have nothing to do with each other. You can't say that this milk that's in here, I'll use this water. This milk that's in here came from this hamburger that I got. What chances is that? You can't do that. That's not, I don't see that that's what that's saying. So eat, not to soak the meat with milk. Exactly. That's what right. Exactly. But they cannot be the same ones. You cannot take the milk from the cow and then sod it and seethe it. That one that come from the mother. If you can't do that. I'm so sis, all praise. I'm glad you said and understand it. Keep eating your cheese. And I don't eat cheese. I don't eat cheese. I don't eat dairy. I don't drink milk from a cow. But I'm just showing what I see in the scriptures. I'm gonna fight for our laws on what's right, so that people can understand. I'm not gonna be an advocate for something because I'm for it, or be against it because I want to be against it. I don't drink milk. I don't eat cheese. I love cheese or a nice pizza. You understand? But I don't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna be an advocate for what's right. Okay. And then you know there is some bad in everything. I know a lot of people, you get skeptical about the food that you eat. You know, there's what do they call larvae, or what is the other little parasites that's in the meat, and this, that, and the third. Hey, this is a roll of the dice. But if you keep the Most High's laws, the Most High got you. If you cook your food adequately, a lot of times we seeing stuff that's what I'm saying. I ain't saying all the time. I'm saying a lot of times you're seeing stuff in another country. You understand? So here there are certain guidelines that they are trying to hold on to. Because they got to go up into the same grocery store too. And when they find something ain't right, they say, hey man, we found something that this ain't right. You know, we're trying to make it right. Remember, I'm no advocate for our oppressors, because I don't think that I know anybody that disapprove a lot opposed to oppression than I do. And that's just my opinion. And I'm sure that somebody else be like, I ain't liking what's going on either. And I'm trying to be very nice, you know what I'm saying, about what I'm saying. Sometimes I be sitting here, my spirit be like, am I pouring it on too thick? When this camera go off, you know, I be up in here like, yo, man, I'm not liking this, man, you know, and I'm being nicely by saying, y'all know what I mean? I'm not liking this, right? So I'm no case fighting for these people, and, you know, the way that they deal with the beasts and the way that they deal with animals and this, that, and the third. But I'm vegan. Y'all meat eaters. I'm going to fight for y'all. I'm going to fight for vegans. I'm going to fight for the laws. What's right is what's right. You can't bug out. You understand? Every piece of meat on the face of the earth don't have a damn maggot in it. Stop it, man. Stop it. You get, you know, you could get on this internet and they'll show you something, and now you think that, you know, everything is contaminated. Where is the Most High then, man? The Lord said, no weapon formed against you gonna prosper. If he is for us, nobody can be against us. So just be careful with the stuff that y'all do. Be careful with use common sense. Careful with the meat that you buy. Buy from somebody reputable. You know how sisters know how stuff's supposed to look. If it's looking shady, leave that stuff there. You know, there's some shady looking stuff. You understand? And you cook it well. You cook the life out of it. You understand? You cook the life out of it. When you cook. When you put that fire on there, ain't nothing living up in there, man. That thing is a done deal. It's a done deal. Ain't no redness in there. If ain't no redness in there, ain't nothing else living there. Name something that you can put on fire and it live, man. You can't put no bug on fire and it live. How? What is it? A super bug or something? What is this thing here? No, man, that thing ain't nothing living. All right. So go ahead. The brother has something.
Ecclesiastes 39. And then I want to just kind of comment on like the Exodus 23:19. Like how the Most High said not to add unto the word and not to diminish. You just gotta leave it with what the scriptures say. When the scriptures say don't boil an animal in his mother's milk, just leave it there. It's talking about boiling animals in the mother's milk. It ain't say cheese, how the cheese is created, and that's the same. Just leave it at exactly what it says. Don't boil the animal in the mother's milk. You know, don't get creative and try and say, well, what about this and that? The Most High said what he wanted you not to do. You know what I'm saying?
Please ask us 39.
39 and 26. Because the brother was saying how not to fret because of everything that they trying to promote and put out there and things like that. So Ecclesiastes 39:26.
You got to start at 25.
25, right?
Yeah.
For the good are good things created from the beginning. So evil things for sinners. So the Most High,
Right.
He said meat was good. You know what I'm saying? So don't fret. Because all the parasites and this and that, the Most High said, for the good are good things created from the beginning.
Right.
So it's good. He got you. Like the brother said, don't worry. You keeping the laws, the Most High got you. You know what I'm saying? Verse 26, the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly. So if you keeping the commandments, trust and believe the Most High is going to lead and guide you and make sure that the food that you eating is safe for you. It says, so to the sinners, they are turned into evil. But if you breaking the law, then that's where you're going to get the things that's unhealthy, the things that's going to, destroying your flesh, making you sick, because you're not keeping the law. So that wisdom and protection that the Most High give to the ones that keep the law, you won't have it. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. So, and to add to that, hold that, because I'm going to need to repeat it. Ecclesiastes chapter 2. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 24, I believe it is.
this is Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 2 and verse 24.
Right. So now this goes with Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and verse 25. For the good are good things created. The Lord said from the beginning. Off the flip. You're gonna know that the Most High's help you. So brothers and sisters, like, oh, the Most High bless me. Hey man, you feel like that? Good. Good. I'm not gonna steal your joy. Good. All praises. You eating good, you drinking good, you feeling good. Why would somebody want to kill that? We got enough people against us. The whole world is against us. Now we got to turn against each other too? Come on now. So now read that Ecclesiastes chapter what?
Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and 24.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible chapter 2, 24. Read it.
There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink.
Right. So everything that's according to the Lord's dietary laws ain't nothing better, man. You can eat that. You can eat that and you can drink that. Oh, don't do this and this and this and this and this. The wicked is complaining like that. The wicked is saying that. The wicked is instilling fear and making you afraid. Go ahead.
And that he should make his soul enjoy.
And that he should make his soul enjoy. Make yourself happy, man. You out there flipping them steaks, bam. Dodging that smoke. Now remember who's talking, a vegan talking. But I just gotta fight for what's right. The scriptures is right. If I start saying that meat is not for food consumption, I'll be going against Yahweh by Shema Mashagi Hawashah. I'll be going against the Most High in Christ. The Lord ate lamb. You understand? I'll be going against the Lord by saying that that's not right. I just choose to stop it. I'm not going to stop you from doing it, though. He created it for you. It was meant to make man happy. You understand? So read that part again.
This is Ecclesiastes 2:24.
Go ahead.
There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor.
That you should make your soul enjoy good in your labor. You work for that. You work for that. You go out there and you get that. Buy whatever you can afford, man, and make yourself happy with that thing. Go ahead.
This also I saw, that it was from the hand of God.
He saw that it was from what? The hand of the Lord. Okay. Last thing, let's see. Now, Ecclesiastes chapter 7, and then we'll move on. We'll go back to our, where we left off at. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 7 and verse 16.
This is Ecclesiastes 7 and 16. Be not righteous over much.
Be not righteous over much. You see what I'm saying? Check this out. The Most High has already established his righteousness. So there are a lot of brothers and sisters that will try to be over righteous. That's how we put it, over righteous. God is already righteous. He already set it up. He already said, this is how things is. This is what I want you brothers. This is what I want my children to do. You're his children. He said, this is what I want you to do. But then you're going to let somebody come in and be righteous over that. No, they can't do that. Don't let them do that to you. Be not righteous over much. Go ahead.
Neither make thyself over wise.
Right. Don't make yourself over wise. The Lord has already in his wisdom established what to do and what not to do. What to eat and what not to eat and how to eat it. You can't be smarter than the Most High. His wisdom surpassed his wisdom. Okay? Go ahead.
Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
How would they destroy themselves? Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? How would one destroy themselves? Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? He's asking a question. Why would you destroy yourself? How would they be destroyed? What? Pride. How would one destroy themselves? How does they really feel? How does one really feel? That's
what
correct.
we're dealing with.
What we're dealing with, how does they really feel? The Lord said, why would you destroy yourself? How do you really feel? Think like them. You know them. So if you know mankind, how does they really feel? They really feel like they want to do this.
Right.
But in their own mind, in their wisdom, what are they doing? Refraining themselves. Because of something that they created.
Right.
So they hurting themselves. You hurting yourself by doing that. Because there's nothing wrong with that. There are things that Israel is doing wrong, and you're destroying yourself. And there's nothing wrong with it. And then the things that you're not supposed to do, they end up doing it.
Right.
So, we got that? All right. Just like, I'll use another example, okay, about drinking. In the world of Christianity, they tell you that drinking is not of the Lord. Drinking is of the devil. That you can't drink. They destroying themselves because deep down inside, they want to drink. And what they do, they do drink. They just don't do it at church.
Right.
And they don't do it in front. They don't do it in front of each other. They hide and go do it in secrecy. They really are destroying themselves. Let's get the scriptures on that. Okay. Let's go to this one in Ecclesiastes. What was made, right?
What was made?
Yeah, it's made to make me.
To make me glad.
Yeah, that's what I messed up at.
It should be 30, yeah.
All right. Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and 27. So they don't know nothing about this. So they destroy. This is another example of how people will destroy themselves. So we dealt with us using an example within. Now you can deal with Israel that's without. That has to come up out of the lacking the understanding portion and coming into the knowledge of what this Bible is saying by really being taught. A lot of people are not being taught. They just read the Bible and start reciting it while they in sin, not understanding that that's not how you're supposed to be. It's okay to, say what it says, but for you to just take upon yourself to say, I'm a teacher of the Lord, you don't do that. The Most High set teachers up. Got it?
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 31 and 27.
Right.
Wine is as good as life to a man, if it be drunk moderately.
Mm-hmm.
What life is then to a man that is without wine?
So read it in the form of a question. Okay? Because they're destroying themselves. In the church system, they destroy themselves. If they see you with a bottle, oh, you are no good, you in the world, you're carnal-minded, you this, that, and the third, when they themselves are in the world and carnal-minded because of the sins that they commit and the laws that they omit. Read it again in the form of a
So
question.
this is Ecclesiastes 31:27. Wine is as good as life.
No, just a question.
Okay. What life is then to a man is without wine?
What life is then to a man that is without wine? What is life to you if you don't have wine involved in it? Well, I don't have, especially if you want it.
Right.
See, that's the thing. Especially if you want it. If you want it and wine is not into your life, you feel destroyed. Y'all saw I got a bottle of Moet in my basement refrigerator. Got a refrigerator in the basement too. And that bottle is over 10 years old. It might be 10. Might be about 10 years old. I saw that thing today. I said, man, I better stop tripping. I was like, man, I'm messing up. Man, time is getting away. How long I'm going to hold on to this? It's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. I said, man, maybe I should put some orange juice to it. Put some orange juice to it. Or put some of that 1738. Y'all know what's up with that? Oh man. You know what's up with that, Dre? I'm thinking it'll give me a headache though, man. That some Remy Martin, it's above VSOP. It's 1738. That thing is so smooth, brother. Don't tell Yashala that we was talking about this, man. Because that brother's gonna nag me. Sam. And the scriptures teach you, don't press no man to drink up. Get back. I'm not drinking. Come on, man. Just have a drink with me. Then he go back in the day. Man, we remember we used to drink, man, at your house. And wasn't none of y'all probably wasn't even alive, wasn't even thought about. Man, we used to drink at your house. Do you remember that, man? It's like, man, yeah, I remember, brother. But you're not. And I got a bottle of brandy on the bar. That's older than that. That might be about 15 years old. What's the name of that thing? Mendoza. Now, don't tell y'all. Carbonate something. I'll let y'all know. It's called Mendoza. It's a Spanish brandy. I went out to LA. What is this? This is 2018. So it might have been in like 2002. It might have been about 2003. Why you say that?
That's 15 years.
Yeah. It was like 02 or 03. So I went out to Cali. And there was some brothers out there, and we was all fellowshipping and stuff like that. And they had what's the name of that? I wanted to tell y'all can, because I know y'all, a lot of y'all listen good, and you're gonna look it up. Carbon something. It's a Mendoza. but they was drinking this brandy, and so I was drinking it with them. Now they all had a bottle. I'm like, what is this? Of course, like I'm not a drinker like that. But all the elders, they drunk. And I had to, some of them I had to correct on that because bring out the scriptures, and it was like trying to do it on the Sabbath day. But that was another city though. We were in Atlanta when I did that. So I'm out there, and it was dark. I can remember it was dark, and they had these little dark bottles. You know the bottles on the bar, right? So they had. That's it. Is that my bottle?
Yeah, that's on your page.
Let me see that. This dog ain't got my bottle on the thing, man.
That was you.
I took a picture of it.
Cardinal or something, Mendoza.
Oh, it went away, huh? Cardinal Mendoza. Go ahead and find it again. I knew it was mine because of that little seal. You know the old king stamp where they had the stamp. The stamp is halfway broken off. I don't know how. Probably Yash picking it up. Every time Sham, just open it, man. We just take one sip, man. I know it's on fire. Cardinal Mendoza. Y'all get one. If y'all drink, man. There he is. Let me see if get it in focus. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna focus for y'all. Oh, there it is, right. That's my picture. That's on my bar at home. So I might have went out there in 2002. When I came back home, I don't think I brought that back though. I might have ordered it in the mail and never opened it. But I'm gonna tell y'all about it. So it tasted kind of funny. So all the elders out there, they drinking it, and I kind of noticed. I'm like, hey man, each one they got like their own bottle or something. And then, they give me a bottle of it. I don't know if they had about a case where they give me a bottle of it, and so I'm drinking it out of a cup or whatever, and I'm like, this show is nasty. It tasted funny, right? Boy, that doggone Spanish brandy had me high as a kite. That stuff was potent, boy. Potent. It stopped being nasty. it wasn't nasty no more. I was feeling good, man. I was like, whoa, this is the bomb. I was like, wow. So it's like, I see what y'all saying. So I get home, and I'm sure I probably got a bottle and drunk with the ladies. But that was it. So then I think I stopped drinking, period. And now I don't drink at all. But the point is like the scriptures say, why would you destroy yourself? These people that's out there in the world, they're in a Christian community. And they're not gonna drink because they think it's a sin. They think it's a sin. Well, we're proving that it's not a sin. Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and 25. It says, the last precept, read that.
Ecclesiastes 31:25, last precept. For wine had destroyed many.
31 and 27. Yeah.
This is Ecclesiastes 31:27. For it was made to make men glad.
Right, so the alcohol was made to make men glad. Okay? It was made to, to make people feel like I felt that night. I just don't want to feel like that no more. I stopped drinking, not because I had a car crash, but because I wanted to be sober, man. I just want to take this life and these scriptures, a lot more serious. I don't want to be drunk and then be making mistakes and then, not thinking sober. It's the wine talking, I'm being in fighting temptation and all that kind of stuff. A lot of you brothers and sisters, man, y'all do drugs and y'all be in temptation. You ain't supposed to do drugs, but you get high, you think that it's okay. It's there's an exception because you high. That don't count. You tripping. Or you get drunk. The saying. Gin make you sin. Gin will make you sin because it's a potent liquor, man, that will bring in spirits. That would make you put down your morals, your standards, and all the stuff that you're doing, and then you're gonna end up in transgression. So, the scriptures teach you anyway to be sober minded. So, it has to be done in moderation. And if you can't do it in moderation, like that, brothers in the body out here drink, but because they being taught and they learn, so I don't want to say they beyond being taught, but they have learned to be in moderation. Do you notice when you see us taking our pictures, you're not seeing brothers they taking pictures. They got a cup. You see a lot of Jakes, and I'm not talking trash, but a lot of Jakes, man, every time you see them, they got the cup in their hand. It's a time, it's a moderation, the time and the place, everything. Okay? You got to be filled with the Spirit, man. You can't always be intoxicated, man. You can't always be drunk. Okay? But it was made to make me glad. And, verse, do we need more? Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, that's the point there. So, and people, they destroy themselves they want to do it, but then they don't because man had told them that's a sin. Right? Yeah.
Right. And then they do it behind the people back and they overdrink.
That's
and because
right.
they hiding it, they can't get help to say, well, they can't get help in how to drink it moderately. And then have somebody be able to help them manage it to know when enough is enough because they hiding it because they think they ain't supposed to be doing it.
Yep. And right. And then when they do it, they do end up in sin. Mm-hmm. You understand? They do. They end up in sin. A lot of men, they go out and drink and then commit adultery. Women, they'll go out and drink and commit adultery, end up fornicating. Christian church had told them they can't do it. So they, like the brother said, I'll just reiterate, they did it in secrecy. Instead of being taught how to do it and doing it out in the open, because when you do something out in the open, when you do it wrong, somebody gonna correct you. They're gonna say nope. And that's how, young brothers is out here. I've seen young brothers age up until they get 21, and then they able to drink. They like, I can't wait to take that first drink. Then they drink and they see what it's like. Then like, okay, then now they hang with the big dogs. And then now when they start drinking, they're like, remember, you was just a little dog a year ago. So, you know what I'm saying? Whoa, Kemosabe. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No more. Don't drink no more, brother. How you getting home? The bus. All right, brother, you're not gonna catch the bus. Brother, drunk on the bus just circling around the loop, around the little bus stops. He on the bus drunk. No, we wouldn't let that happen, but but if we see, then we can teach them how to, what I'm saying? You teach them how to drink and be discreet, use discretion, you understand? Moderation, exercise, show him what his limits is, get him a ride home, brother, stuff like that. So where we leave off at?
When we finished Baruch, and you were just getting some various laws,
Right. And so Israel, don't, for you, if you're underage, The state law is 21. The state law is 21. So you should not be consuming alcohol if you're if you're under 21. And then when you do consume alcohol, you should be in the presence of a competent adult. You know, you should not consume alcohol if you're drinking. I mean, if you're driving. I said if you're drinking. If you're driving, you should not be drinking and driving. What else? You know, and drinking, for the first time, especially if you're in the truth, you should be around commandment keepers so that they can, show you the ropes, and monitor you. Say, now you goofy now. When they turn goofy, now you stop them. Because listen, most alcoholic drinks, they'll take, sometime. And remember how I said that one was like nasty, but then after I kept drinking it, I was like, I see what they mean. It wasn't nasty no more. You know what I'm saying? That was because the liquor had took over. And alcohol gets into the bloodstream. That's what it does. It gets into your bloodstream. Now, you could keep drinking cups and cups because the sugar and sweets in it and stuff like that. But all of that alcohol, it still has to get into your bloodstream, and it has to filter. It has to make it circuit through your brain. And it'll just keep on changing and altering, you understand, your functions. And that's why you cannot just go with the flow when you're drinking alcohol. And that's why their vision get blurred, their language gets slurred, their, you know what I'm saying, they equilibrium be off. That's because that blood is constantly getting into your it's 18. Wow. It constantly going through your brain. It's catching up. So young when I was drinking, I had to find out that the hard way. It's called a hangover. That's when you consume so much that it just numbs your brain, man. It dries it out. It hurts your freaking brain, man. Your head hurt. It'd be like massive headache to the point to where people will cry to God. And they'd be like, I'm sorry, I don't, if they'd be throwing up and everything. They'd be like, just take this feeling away from me. If you do this, I'll never drink again. It gets, and it all started from something that tasted sweet. It's not for everybody. So, those of you that do drink, to do it in moderation. And those of you that grow to drink as you become age, don't sneak out and just be with somebody in the world and start drinking. They got something out there, man, that they call roofie. It's a drug. And what the roofie does, it'll make you forget. You'll pass out. And when you pass out and when you're unconscious, what you think gonna happen? You think they're gonna just take the little $4 in your pocket? They're gonna molest you, man. They're gonna touch you. They're gonna touch you. If you're a female, they'll rape you. They'll have sex with you with your sleep body. So that's why you never drink with strangers, and you never drink from strangers. Never drink from cups that you don't know what, you didn't see it pour. None of that, man. I know I so bad would be wanting to tell you, not to drink, but if you're underage, you should not be drinking, period. You understand? And if you don't have a desire or a thirst for it, never let anybody, and let's get that precept for them. Never let anybody urge you to drink. If somebody urge you to drink, that's the more you're supposed to be like, no. 31 and 1.
31.
Yes. Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and verse 31.
Ecclesiastes 31 and 31. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine.
Right. Rebuke not thy neighbor at the wine. So if somebody is drinking, it's saying that we should not be rebuking him and he's drunk. Or because he's drinking. Okay? Go ahead.
And despise him not in his mirth.
So this is the same person. He's enjoying himself. We got something negative to say. We despise it. See, that's the difference between like if I'm a non-drinker and I see a brother drinking, I can't just start rebuking him, man. Telling him to stop because I don't drink. It makes me sick. I don't like it, this, that, and the third. You can't do that to a man. Not when the Lord said it was made to make men glad. So you can't have nothing to say. If they cross the line, then you got something to say. But as long as they within the law, you can't be like he's the devil, he's sinning, he's out of order. You can't be like that. Okay? Go ahead.
Give him no despiteful words.
Give him no despiteful words. Go ahead.
And press not upon him with urging him to drink.
Right, and press not upon him. Okay, we're urging him to drink. So you don't want to influence him or urge him to continue to drink more. And don't let anybody, say for instance, if you don't drink, and somebody say, hey, try this. Because it's a different, it's a beast, man. I'll tell y'all a story, and my children here, you're going to learn this for the first time. Don't look at me no kind of way. I think I might have been in, I might have been in 8th grade, if I'm not mistaken. 8th grade? No, it wasn't 9th grade. Might have been 8th grade. And times was totally, although it wasn't that long ago, but times was definitely different than they are now. Trust and believe. But they used to have what they call house parties. And at the house parties, I mean, like in the neighborhoods, the youngsters, we would just go, and they have in the basement, had like the color lights, red lights on, a DJ. They still do that. DJs going, and the youth, we would like teenagers or children, man, we would go from house and be in the basement, all strangers. They wasn't shooting up the place. Now y'all crazy. You can't do that. You have a house party, 4 people dead. Somebody boom, 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 just shooting up in it. But then it wasn't like that. So I guess some students, we went to this house party, and somehow we ended up on Goodfella and West Florissant, down there where the campsite is, where what it is, where the Popeye's chicken is. Y'all know where Goodfella and West Florissant is? Mm-hmm. Okay, you know where it's at? Y'all know where it's at? Remember the camp? Or went to get the speaker? Okay, everybody know. So where they got these 40 ounces from, I don't know. But a 40 ounce it's like a damn miniature keg, man. It's a beer and it was glass, and the glass was about this big. They had a couple of them. I'm trying to think, what was the name of these beers? They urged me into drinking those things. I couldn't even walk. I was like handicapped. I was like handicapped. I have no legs. Drop. I couldn't even walk. Yeah, I couldn't even walk. They had to get up under this arm and up under that arm. And walk me where y'all grandmother stay. My mom walked me all the way, holding me up. Like 3 miles. I'm sure we had to sit someplace until I can walk, until I can like get something going, because I had to now knock on the door and get in. You understand? So but y'all youngsters, do not, I'm gonna whoop y'all. Do not drink. Don't do what I did. See, you know what I'm saying? What life, man, every day times is getting worse. Times is terrible now. I'm telling you now, we wasn't roofie head people. I'm telling you, they are doing some bugged out stuff now, man. So you ain't gonna just get drunk and somebody just gonna take you home. You gonna end up dead, bro. It's that bad. And then the policeman wasn't killing us. The policeman wasn't killing you. Now, people are so afraid of the police. They see the police, they run. And now the police, they just shoot you, man, because you run. The police used to couldn't shoot you in the back. Now they take a stance, man. And they see you running, and they just shoot you. So times is so bad. The only place to survive is in the truth. We'll show you how to do everything, man. When it's time for you to drink, we'll teach you, we'll show you. If that's in your spirit and you of age, then that's that. Don't go outside the truth trying to get married. Because anything that you do outside of truth in order to keep it, you're going to have to stay out there. The Israelites that, you burning, you go out and you call yourself, get you a boyfriend. Y'all are some beautiful people. All you got to do is be patient. The Most High, He going to give you a gift, man. He going to give you a righteous person that keep the commandments. And that's what you want. I understand that you want to be married. But you got to do it according to the law. And you're going to live anyway, so you might as well just wait. If you're a woman, the Most High will give you a man that believes and keeps the commandments. You don't have to go and get Larry, because Larry commented he like you, and and he gonna talk to you now. But she like, they talking about shit forever. It ain't gonna never happen. But Larry is like, it can happen now. No, Larry is the devil, man. Of course he gonna do it now. He gonna corrupt you and he's gonna be gone. So don't do that. Don't wait on the Lord. Don't wait on Larry. Wait on the Most High, man. Therefore, you don't have to be ashamed. You don't have to, leave your Israelite family. Because when you do, you'll be so embarrassed that you like, because you're going to end up missing it. You're going to miss the fellowship, the scriptures, the guidance. You know that if you hear it, you already know that this is right. This is harmless. You're going to miss the fellowship, the music, the feast, the love, the unity, the Lord. Because the Most High ain't going to hear your prayers there. Despite what you're saying, the scripture say, if you turn your ear away from hearing the law, your prayers are abomination, man. If you're a young man and you don't go outside the truth and then try to bring somebody back, oh man, she agreed with me, she want to learn the truth. What? You don't do it like that. She wants to learn the truth. No, brother. It don't work like that. There are single men for every single woman. There are single women for every single man. That's in the truth, that's growing. All y'all got to do is work out y'all salvation, and the Most High going to bring y'all together, and y'all going to be married. He said he understands that man should not live by himself. He understands that. That it's good that man should not be alone. He knows that. And you youth, you're not always going to be young, man. We were once young, y'all age. Now we older and we have children and have a life and have a job. You understand? And y'all gonna have the same thing too, but not at a young age. Children, raising children trying to be married, children. Hey man, there are billions of people upon the face of the earth. There's no way you're gonna convince me that somebody on the phone is that person for you. It ain't a billion people in this life. You ain't gonna go. Come on, man. That's lust. Give yourself an opportunity. You know how many countries on the face of the earth? Israel is scattered throughout the four corners. Your husband could be anywhere. Your wife could be anywhere. Let the Most High use his miracle to bring the perfect person to you. Not just the person that like your post or the person that like your smile. Not just anybody. Be patient. The scriptures say let patience have a perfect work. It will happen. Keep your faith and stop entangling yourself with the pictures, the movies, the television, and all of this stuff. And then you won't have to fight off and constantly tell yourself. You won't have to fight that fight. Get in tune. Y'all, you know what the Most High want from y'all single brothers and sisters? Let me show you what he wants according to scriptures. And then we're going to stop because we're supposed to be keeping the feast. We're supposed to be eating and all of that. And we'll finish our last couple of precepts and then we'll stop. But I'm going to show y'all, and I want y'all to pay real close attention to what the Lord wants from y'all, man. I want you to go to 1 Corinthians 7. Because he do care about y'all, but you got to care about yourself, man. First Corinthians chapter 7. In verse 32.
1 Corinthians 7 and 32. But I will have ye without carefulness.
Right, without carefulness is like worrying, like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Because he's going to tell you. Go ahead.
He that is unmarried.
Right, that's you. That's you. He that is unmarried. Go ahead.
Care for the things that belong to the Lord.
Go ahead.
How he may please the Lord.
What does the Most High want them to be doing? Okay. But there's two parts. Y'all just missed the first part. Read it again. He that is unmarried.
He that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Lord.
Stop right there. What belongs to the Lord? I'm going to see who can get that. What belongs to the Lord? We know everything, but let's get technical. The people. The Lord said, all souls are mine. Do you care about this nation? From here, we got to get it now. To prove this point to you, that if you are unmarried, you should be caring about this nation. And you should be caring about your status. Your mind should not be on, let me change my status. Your mind should be like, let me leave as the strongest example that I can leave. Just like Mary, who was beloved. Oh, Lord, that's what you want me to do? The Lord, Mary said, how this going to happen seeing I don't know a man? Then the angel had to tell her, don't worry about that. Well, I'm going to take care of that. The Lord going to take care of that. The Spirit going to overshadow you. You're going to become interested. Wisdom of Solomon. Y'all could be so much better. than y'all are. Y'all could do some amazing things. Every generation is supposed to get better. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, and verse 1.
This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Better it is to have no children.
Right. So if you single, you aren't married, you don't have no children. Those you don't have no children. I ain't gonna go into the limitless thing, the limitless things that you can do when you don't have no children. Oh, y'all got some good hands. Stop trying to give them to Yolanda. You brothers trying to rush to judgment. Yolanda. Elaine. Patricia. Karen. What y'all doing, man? You sisters, Frank and Anthony, Marvin, Jimmy. No. Stop rushing. Slow down. Y'all have limitless. Your life is limited. As soon as you hook with somebody, trust and believe, you can't do nothing. You can't do the things that you would do now. Because now you tied with somebody else. Especially you sisters. You don't have power over yourself. A man gonna tell you what to do and when to do it and when not to do it and how much of what to do, and you have to give an account and this, that, and the third. All that because you wanted to bump uglies and go to the show. You just gave yourself completely over. You rushed to judgment. So stop, don't do that. Stop watching the TV and the devils lick each other, and you won't be interested in thinking that you need to be kissed on and you need to go somewhere with somebody. Stop it. I ain't gonna tell you nothing wrong. I ain't told you nothing wrong today. So I ain't gonna start just to try and keep you from doing something. I'm not wrong. The scriptures is not wrong. I'm not telling you wrong. I'm telling you right to save your life. Because if you open that door up and you get yourself involved, you can't undo it. You have to fulfill that vow. And this is a very serious thing. Don't tempt yourself with it. Better is it to have no children. There are thousands of sperm cells that come from a man at one time. Don't let no man rub himself up against you. The dampness, the little pre-liquidation cell he's trying to let go is enough to plant a seed. Don't let nobody even touch you. Better it is to have what? No children, and to have virtue. Virtue is what? Strength. Power. To say no. Put a smile on your face, baby. Say no. You got power over your body. Power over your mind. You don't let nobody convince y'all to do nothing. You brothers, you don't let no woman convince you to do nothing. Let no woman talk you up, convince you to do nothing, convince to get up on top of you, to get near you, to come by you. You're supposed to be strong, man. You're supposed to be weak. You're supposed to know how to control your vessel. Your vessel is your private part. You don't just take that out and hand that over to somebody. Y'all stronger than that. Y'all have to be. Because you're supposed to be thinking about the Lord. We're going to get to that part. It's coming. It's going to say it. But we need to have this talk, birds and the bees, about how to control yourself. Because the way that you control yourself, it describes you. Did y'all know that? The way that you could control yourself describes you. And people, They ain't gonna sit back and tell you that if you loose with it, you playing yourself. They just sit back and murmur about you. But if you got virtue, ooh-wee, you the best thing going. You better than everybody. But most of y'all think that because I'm by myself, I ain't nobody. I'm left out. That's the damn opposite. Don't be a fool. You the greatest person. You are the greatest person. Because ain't nobody, you ain't having it. You ain't going for it. You are the greatest, man. You are the greatest woman. Straight up. They tricking you, man. They tricking you. They not telling you that you the best. Read the next part. We have Wisdom of Solomon 4 and verse 1.
For the memorial thereof is immortal.
Do y'all know what immortal is, man? That's it. That's immortality. The scriptures say immortal. Christ is immortal. Christ, Yahushua is immortal. Yahushua can't be killed. The scriptures say he died no more. The Bible is saying if you don't give yourself over and you are strong enough to keep yourself, what people gonna think about you is always gonna be around. You gonna be the person that was strong, man. Go ahead.
Because it is known with God and with men.
The Lord said he knows it. Here's our point. Go ahead.
When it is present, men take example at it.
So when you think about 1 Corinthians 7 and 32, he that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Lord, you worried about that example. You like, man, people are going to take an example at it. You are worried about the example. Everybody understand that? You're worried about the example. I'm leaving an example. I don't do that. I'm an example for people to walk in. Read the next part.
And when it is gone, they desire it.
They desire to see that. Because what? You might go from place to place. I tell people all the time, ain't nothing forever. The place that you living in ain't forever. You gonna move from house to house. The job you at ain't forever. You gonna go from job to job. But that time that they spent, the school you in, you're gonna go from school to home, or you gonna go from school to another school. It's momentary, it's temporary. But what they gonna remember about you as a man, as a brother or sister, it's gonna live in their mind forever. When they think about the pinnacle of what's right, let them think about you. Let them think about you. When they need to snap out of it and remember, how do I do something right? Let them think about you. Because where did you get this from? You got this from the Most High in Christ. That's where your mind's supposed to be at. If you are married, your mind's supposed to be right there. Trying to fulfill that. Trying to do that. Trying to get in that. Trying to first, I'm trying to help you to understand that that's how you're supposed to be. But now that you understand, you're supposed to fight off your own mindset so that you can finally put these pieces together and say, this is how I'm supposed to be. People that are not married think like that. Let me please the Lord. Let me please the Lord. If you do that, man, you ain't gonna have a care in the world. You ain't gonna have a worry in the world. People gonna be like, they're gonna be wondering how you get blessed. What's so special about you? The choices that you make is gonna bless you. You're like, I just made a choice. And they might find it so hard to understand that you just made a decision. I made a decision not to go out there and do the wrong thing. And they're gonna scratch their scalp. Dang, I messed up. Then you teach them. And then you look for somebody else who's looking to make that choice, like you made that choice. And then you teach them. And the Lord gonna bless you for that. That's what it's like being unmarried. You ain't supposed to be, I'm trying to get married. You gonna hook up with anything. I'm trying to get married. Who want to get married? Who want to get married? Who want a woman? Who want a man? Who want me? What is y'all doing, man? Y'all gonna find the devil. You're gonna find demons. Somebody gonna come into your life and take your money, take your car, take your house, put you on drugs, put you on alcohol, drag you up out the truth, take you up out of your family. Huh? Wolves are dragging sisters out of congregations. Come away from them. They ain't teaching you right. Just to be with them. The Bible says when it is present, verse 2, men take example of. You want to be an example? Have virtue. When it's gone, they desire it. It worth a crown. So you won't see that. But the Bible says, hey, you got a crown on, man. Sis, you got a crown on. What's the female crown? A tiara? That what they call it? You want a tiara, little baby? Have some virtue. Or you think that only men supposed to wear crowns? I ain't never heard a king without a queen. You can have a tiara, have some virtue. Want to please the Lord. Then when time come, he ain't gonna forget. The scriptures say he is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love. And everything that you did it for the saints. A triumph forever, having gotten the victory, striving for undefiled rewards. You are working to make sure that you don't do the wrong thing. All right, so now let's go back to 1 Corinthians chapter 7. I tell you what, you want to start the communion, and I can finish it up. So I'm going to kind of speed it a little bit, so y'all stay with me, all right? So 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and 22. 32. 1 Corinthians 7, 32. But I would have you without carefulness, that he that is unmarried care for the things that belong unto the Lord. So that's where I'm not supposed to be at, all right? How he may please the Lord. But that's going to change. It says, but he that is married care for the things that are of the world. So once you get married, now the things that are of the world, what do you think that is, man? What's in the world? It's not saying, okay, you're going to be in sin, but now a car, a house, stuff like that. It said, because the next part says how he may what? Please his wife. So now you're trying to please this woman to make sure that things go well. And the same thing with a woman. You get a woman, you get a man, you get a husband. Now you got to please him. You're trying to please him. Your whole life is going to change. The route that you take home, it might change. You ain't going home. You're going another direction. You know what I'm saying? Now you're making a stop at. Hey, don't rush. Don't rush to judgment. Don't rush yourself. It's going to come. You know, the brother Baruch Shaw, man, Baruch Shaw that brother was single. The elder Baruch Shaw, that brother was single, man, for a long time. And the Most High, man, I'm sure he told me the story, I forgot. But, man, this brother now, man, has got a wife and children, lovely wife and children. And whenever I think about the patience of a brother having to wait, always mention this brother and go and show brothers, you know, that's the brother over at Future World of Israel. You know, yeah, through the spirit of the Most High Christ, that brother taught me a lot, man. But I use him as an example and say, this is his wife, this is a beautiful family. Now he got children and everything. That brother didn't play the whoremonger, man. He didn't just give in and say, well, I'm just going to get the girl at work. No, he didn't do that, man. He stayed true and stayed faithful. Now he's got a believing wife. He didn't let no woman pull him up out of the truth. The truth is that we have got to maintain good works, and we got to seek those things that's going to please the Lord first, and let the Lord bring that thing to us, man. All right, so let's see. Ephesians 2, then we're going to close it with Matthew 26. Okay, Ephesians 2 and 1, it says, and you have he quickened, who was dead in trespasses and sins. So the Lord made us alive, man, who was doing things all wrong. It says, wherein in time past, you walked according to the course of this world. You was doing whatever the world was doing. According to the what? Prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So the same thing, you know, the things that we do wrong, the Lord said that's in the children of disobedience. That's not supposed to be in us. It says, among whom also we all had our conversation in time past in the lust of our flesh. Like I mentioned, some of my faults, mistakes, lust of the flesh, to let you know that, hey, I've been there. And you've been there, but we can't return to that. And then there are some that haven't did those things, that should not do those things. Fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath. So the Lord said he would, that's why he put his hands on us, even as others. But God, who was rich in mercy for his great love, for what he loved us, even when we were dead in sins, have quickened us together with Christ. So now he brought us up out of that sin to be like Christ. For by grace you are saved, and have raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Christ. So this is sitting together, okay, in this righteousness, that in the ages to come he might show the exceeding riches of his grace and his kindness towards us through Christ. And that's the Most High giving us this information to teach us how to avoid the judgments that come from sin. For by grace you are saved through what? Through faith, meaning because you believe. And not that of yourselves. The Lord said he's just doing it. It is the gift of God. Not of works, shalom, lest any should boast. For we are his workmanship created in Christ unto good works. So that shows you that we can't do bad things. We got to do good things, which the Most High have before ordained, meaning he commanded and prepared that we should walk in them. So that's it. All right. All praises. We got through it to the Most High. All right. We're going to stop because we still got some feasting to do. All right. And Father will it some form of fun activity. All right. So y'all share the video. All right. Share the video. Support the General Assembly. Do something something simple as sharing the video, okay? Send it to your mother, your father, your sister, your brother. Send it to your husband, your wife. Send it to your friend. A friend of yours, send it to him. All right? Matthew 26, something that Christ said for Israel to always bring out wherever this gospel is to be preached. All right? Where them Paul's been, man? Matthew 26 and verse 6. So if anybody out there doing the communion, now will be a good time to get it. It says, now when Yahushua, whom the world calls Jesus, was in Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, there came unto him a woman having an alabaster box, a very precious ointment, and poured it on his head as he sat at meat. When his disciples saw it, they had indignation, saying, to what purpose is his waste? For this ointment might have been sold for much and given to the poor. When Yahushua, whom the world calls Jesus, understood it, he said unto them, why trouble ye the woman? For she hath wrought the good work upon me. For ye have the poor always with you, but me you have not always. For in that she hath poured this ointment on my body, she did it for my burial. Verily I say unto you, wheresoever this gospel shall be preached in the whole world, there shall also this that this woman hath done be told for memorial of her. So why did Christ say that? He said to tell wherever the thing that the woman had done, because the woman being in sin, she changed her mind. She said, I don't want to be in sin no more. All praises, I thank you. She said, I don't want to be in sin no more. And so, not wanting to be in sin no more, she just up and quit. She didn't make excuses. You understand? She just upped and quit. She said, I want to do something different. I want to save myself. And with that, you can tell she was sorry for her sin, like David said, I will be sorry for my sin. You can tell she was sorry for her sin because this is the woman in Luke chapter 7 that was down on her feet and crying and wiping his feet with the tears. Wow. Wiping with the tears, his feet with tears, and wiping them with the hairs of her head. That was somebody that felt that, man. She was very sorry for her sin. And when you feel something, when you sorry for sin, you don't want to do that no more, because that means you understand it. When your spirit is broken like that, so Christ said, tell this over and over and over until we all get to a place to where our spirit is broken. I've been there. To where I've wept as a grown man. Sorry for sin, man. Sorry for the things that I did. Not so much when I was a man, because when I came into this truth and I started learning the laws, I started disciplining myself not to do it. But as I could reflect back, being younger, I feel ashamed, man, of the things that I did, the sins I committed, things that were wrong. I learned these laws now. I was like, man, I was wrong. Whether I was selfish, whether, I was wicked, you understand? Whether I was lying, stealing, killing, hating, doing whatever. The individual, the person, the spirit that I walked in, it caused damage to others. And when I understood, it made me feel so bad that I was in tears, man. And I was like, I never want to do that again. And I don't want to hurt anybody like that again. And it helped me to understand how people supposed to be. So until we all feel like that, Christ, that's what Yahweh Shai is getting out of this, man. You have to read Luke 7, man. You have to get that out of that. When you truly feel sorry for doing the wrong thing and you gonna cry about it, I bet you don't go do that no more. Because who wants to keep crying about something that they doing wrong? That means that you truly understand how wrong it is. All right? So now the communion. 1 Corinthians chapter 11, right? 1 Corinthians 11 and 23. For I received of the Lord that which also I delivered unto you, that the Lord Yahushua, whom the world calls Jesus, the same night in which he was betrayed, took bread, and when he had given thanks, he brake it and said, Take, eat. This is my body which is broken for you. This do in remembrance of me. After the same manner also he took the cup when he had supped, saying, This cup is the New Testament in my blood. This do ye. See right there? This is what Christ is saying, do it. This do ye as often as you drink this cup in remembrance of me. For as often as you eat this bread and drink this cup, you do show the Lord's death till he comes. So we're going to do this thing often. And that's going to show that we are continuing to live the thing that Christ lived, where he sacrificed his life for the nation of Israel. Okay? So for verse 26. So we're going to do it until he come. Verse 27. Wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Lord unworthily shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Lord. So obviously, you cannot be fraudulent. This is something, Israel, that you have to be sincere. You have to get this thing, man. You have to get it. You have to get it. You have to be dedicated. You have to be serious. And always, you don't have to be the tough guy with this, man. With this truth, you don't have to be tough. You have to have that spirit like a child, man. To where you can, like a child that wants to learn, like a smart child. Like a genius. Be smart about it. Be willing to listen. Be willing to learn. Be ready to do it. That's what's going to make you brothers good, man. Great. In the eyesight of the Lord. The script said, the greater thou art, the more humble yourself. You want to be great? Humble yourself. Be obedient. As obedient children, not fashioning yourselves according to your former lust. Okay? It's not us, man. It's the Most High that's gonna, we just worry about humbling ourselves. We don't have to worry about, let me present myself to be the biggest, baddest I can. The mean man is brought low. You humble yourself. Humbling yourself gonna make you great in the sight of the Lord. Okay. Verse 28, but let a man examine himself. So let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself. Meaning you're only hurting yourself, man. You're going to bring forth judgment on yourself, messing with the Most High. Because it's a spirit associated with this. This is so spiritual. It's like, if you're not real, you ain't going to have success. But if you are real and you are sincere, the Lord going to bless you. What was that, 29? Right. So you got to be willing, because if you're real, that means that you have separated, you thinking about the body of the Lord, which is the congregation. This is this Lord's body here, the congregation. All right. So you're going to separate your wickedness from the congregation. You're like, I'm not going to bring this here. I'm not going to be doing this. I'm not going to be proud. People going to see me in pride. People going to know I'm in sin. Because everything that you do is an example for somebody to walk in. People like, I want to be like you. People going to be like that. I want to be like you. And it's okay. Paul said, like he followed Christ, he said we to follow his example. So we're going to be followers of one another because we're seeing how to keep the law. So I'm going to follow your example on how you keep the law. So I'll give you an example. If you cursing people out, that's going to teach me to curse people out. If you're nice to people, man, and it's going to teach me to be nice to people. What I mean by being nice to people, showing them the scriptures, and leaving on a good note, say, yo, man, take that with you, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just dropping the seed. We conversing, brother. And we'll talk again. Boom. Leaving it like that. I'm going to see that that's how I'm supposed to do it. Say, give them the scriptures. Let them make a decision. And say, hey, brother, we're going to talk again. Hey, man, I want you to have a good day, okay, brother? Hey, take care of your children. So if I see you do that, that's going to make me do that. But if I see you, yo, nigga, you a damn sellout coon. What's that gonna make? If I see you doing it, when I start teaching, yo, nigga, you a damn sellout coon. You love the white man. You probably got a white woman at home. Yo, you a sellout. Look at you got a bald head. You breaking all the laws. You're gonna be destroyed. If you're gonna make me do that. So when we discerning the Lord's body, we examine and say, hey, I gotta be a certain way because the congregation is looking at my behavior. So if you're taking this communion and you're not thinking about the congregation, you're gonna get judged. And you're gonna know that the Lord is against you because the things that you're seeking, they ain't gonna happen for you, man. He gonna be against you and he gonna press sore down upon you. Okay? So now we're 1 Corinthians doing the communion. 11 and 30. For this cause, many are weak, sickly, and sleep. These are 3 different things that happen to somebody. People like weak. You don't have the spirit to get yourself together. You have a weak spirit. Some of you are so angry you cannot control yourself. Some of you are weak nature. You continue to fornicate. Some of you are chiefaholics. You cannot stop smoking. Some of you are alcoholics. You cannot stop drinking. Some of you are whoremongers. You cannot stop whoring. Some of you are thieves. You cannot stop thieving. Some of you are haters. You cannot stop the hatred. You have a weak spirit. Everything you set your hand out to do, you can't do it because your spirit is not strong enough. Deep down inside, you want to, but you just can't. And you can't because you're just not going according to the scriptures. And you're doing something simple as too ashamed to confess your faults. And when the communion come around, you're supposed to be like, no. Let me get myself together. That's why it says, if you eat and drink unworthily, you guilty. But let a man examine himself. So let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eat and drink it, judgment. That's what damnation is. Judgment to himself. So if you don't want judgment to yourself, you're supposed to weigh that communion off. Say, no, I don't want judgment. So now you got to live with the embarrassment of not taking the communion. But check it out. We are being taught correctly according to the scriptures. Nobody's going to approach you and say, yo, sister, why are you not taking communion? I noticed that you're not taking communion. That's not their place. Whose place is it to approach you and talk to you about the communion? Tell us what? Yourself. You're supposed to examine yourself. This one here, you're supposed to have. Because you feel the embarrassment. Oh, did they notice I'm not taking the communion? Did they notice? Yeah, they might have noticed. You don't like it because you want to put up that persona that, I'm doing the right thing. Well, weak or sick. Wonder why? Oh, you catching hell. Or sleep. Now, sleep ain't just death. Sleep is also, you go back to sleep. You go back into the world. Yeah, you know how many people all over the four corners, all over the world is stumbling over this, and they don't understand why. They can end up back in the streets, man. Dead. The congregation of the dead. Because they didn't do something as simple as care about the example. See, up in here, this is, the little things that they got like on the firehouses and some what is that? Service stations, they got the little yellow arms where this is a place of safety. You come here, you're safe. This is a safe zone. This is truth. You come here, we're not supposed to lie to each other. We're not supposed to mislead each other. We have to be 100. Transparent. This is supposed to be the realest place that exists. A small sanctuary of the Lord to where this is truth. And if you are misleading somebody, you're behind gonna have to pay. And the Lord will put you back to sleep. He will say, no, I don't want you destroying people. Goodbye. You gotta take this serious. Because it's like that. People lie. We're dealing with people's lives, man. People like this is the last stop, man. I've tried everything. I can't try nothing else. I'm going to try the Lord. And then they going to come in here and then get exploited. We can't do them like that. So we got to keep the gate of what's right and what's wrong according to the scriptures. Can't let the riffraff in. Keep the foolishness out. Watchmen, protect the sheep. Now, if you're going to be a watchman, then you got to be a true watchman, man. Okay? So now, for if we would judge ourselves, we should not be judged. Judging yourself consists of just stopping. Yeah, just stop. You say you're in sin, stop. Then you don't have to feel bad. You don't have to wave off communion. Just stop sinning. And then you're going to have, like it says in, what's that? Galatians chapter 6 and verse, we don't have to go there, somewhere about 3 or 4. You're going to have rejoicing in yourself and not in another. Whenever you do the right thing, you're going to feel good for self. You ain't going to have to worry about somebody patting you on the back. Yeah, brother, you did the right thing. Yeah, sister, you did the right thing. Yeah, daughter, you did the right thing. Good job. Because a lot of times you don't get that. Maybe if you're not getting it, maybe you're not doing a good job. But if you turn your life, judge yourself. Now, judging yourself is very hard. Because judging yourself, that means you're going to stop. And stopping don't hurt you. But I guarantee you, you're going to feel better than you would if you continue in that sin. But when we are judged, we are chastened. Now, if you let the Lord catch up with you, He's going to chasten you. And you don't have any control over the consequences. Oh, you can't say, Lord, just do this, that, and the third for me. Just do this to me. Pat my little hand. Nah. Make me lose a $10 bill. Nah. He gonna tax that behind. And sometimes these afflictions be upon us for long continuance. so that you can learn obedience. The Lord will chasten you, man. And you can't pray them off because they ain't going away. You can't cry them off because they ain't going to change. He going to get his obedience from you. But it's best if you humble yourself before you fall until it just reach the heaven the way he say, oh, that's enough. I got to show you that I mean business. I'm not mocked. That we should not be condemned with the world, because he don't want to condemn you. He just want to stop. All right. So, most high in the name of Christ, thank you for the food and drink. Amen. This is body which is broken for you. Yeah, that's right, brother. Tay. Brother said the embarrassment will be a driving force for you to get yourself together so the next communion you can partake. That's correct. Just his blood. All repentant Israelites should be doing the communion. The unleavened bread that we use is some form of Triscuit in different flavors, anything without leaven, and any common wine, something that you like. We like a wine that we use called Stella Rose, something like that. It's a very nice taste on wine. We do it live so that you can see and put actions according to the scripture so that you can see what and how to do it. And we give you the name of these products so that you can go out and get them. Stop, watch it, and you can too. You sitting at home by yourself. Christ said, "What two or more, there am I in the midst." Okay. All right, Israel. So that's it. We're going to stand, right? Y'all paying attention? We're going to stand and face Jerusalem. Stay around for the prayers, all right? Shalom. Watch the camera. Tell them to come down. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, the Lord's Prayer, Matthew 6:9. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. In Christ's name we pray, amen. Amen. 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 1. The prayer for peace. I exhort, therefore, that first of all supplications, prayers, intercessions, and giving of thanks be made for all men, for kings and for all that are in authority, that we may lead a quiet and peaceable life in all godliness and honesty. For this is good and acceptable in the sight of Yahweh, our Savior and power, who will have all men to be saved and to come into the knowledge of the truth. In the Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The laborer's prayer, Luke 10:2. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Bless you, Most High, King of heaven and earth and all things, Most High, in the name of the Christ. Send more disciples and teachers to your harvest, to gather your people Israel, and send counsel behind your laws to stand before thy people Israel. Give to us strength to break down our lives with thy word. In the Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
The blessing of Israel. Numbers chapter 6 and 24. Children of Israel, the Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. In the Christ's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Dear Heavenly Father, in the name of Yahweh Shai the Christ, we ask you, Heavenly Father, to look down upon us, giving our praises to you, Abba Father, for giving us the strength to continue day after day after day, commemorating the dedication of the altar. We ask you, Heavenly Father, to continue to pour upon us the blessings that come from being obedient. We ask you, Lord, to bless the extended families throughout the earth that believe in your name, believe in you through your Son, Yahweh Shai, that keep the faith and the commandments. We ask you, Lord, to fill the sanctuaries and congregations with brotherly love, unity, happiness, mirth, faith, endurance, strength. We ask you, Heavenly Father, to heal us, mend the broken hearts. We ask you, Lord, to be for us and help us. Don't forget about us, but help us and bless us. Give us an edge, Lord. We ask you to make the time short. We ask you, Father, to continue to remember us and give us the strength and the spirit to overcome our afflictions as well as our addictions. We ask you, Heavenly Father, to bless the food and the drink that thou hast provided, giving all praises to you in many things. In the Messiah's name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Children of Israel, bless one another.
Most High name of Christ bless you all.
Let's get it on. What did you just say? We could actually, now what was that we was just said? No. What did we open up at? Yeah, Ephesians 2, about being quickened. That's it. That's the name of it. So you'll just tell him. Ephesians 2 and 1. And you have been quickened, who were dead in trespasses and sins. All praises, sisters. You're welcome, more than welcome, sis. Yes, ma'am, Jezreel. What's up, sister? What's up, Felipe? We love you too. Want to take communion next week? All praises, Tay. Just get that stuff, brother. Don't forget. You know, we got class. What's the day? Thursday?
Yeah.
Do it on Saturday, on the Sabbath, brother. When you prepare for the Sabbath tomorrow, get you some wine, a little shot glass. Save the rest for the communion, man. Get you that box of Triscuit, that unleavened bread. Keep it on deck. So whenever your class is going on, right here in the spirit and the fellowship, brother, with us, all right? Don't forget. All right, so listen. Y'all have a blessed evening. Like I said, don't forget, share the video. You can't share it enough. Share it in the groups. Send it to your family, all right? I'm going to let y'all go. And we get into something that I think y'all be interested in. Y'all know I'm going to share the video, all right? All right, much love and respect. All praises, sister. I'm happy. We family now. We are family. You understand? He chose it for us. We didn't choose this thing. He chose it for us. He gave us one another. I'm here for y'all like y'all are there for me. Right, let's realize it. We family. Girl, I love you to the moon. You like in your voice, huh? That's my daughter there. Shalom. I wish y'all was here. I wish y'all to come out here and visit us. If I can get everybody out there to y'all, I really would, man. I'm gonna have to call that jet. Y'all seen that picture of me in the jet? I'm gonna have to call that jet and bring everybody out there to y'all. Oh, she led you here, brother. All praises, man. That's cool, brother. All praises. You're in the right spot, brother. You are in the right place. All right. This man about 25 years old to my he ain't done growing. Y'all you might be done, bro. I'm on Dusty Paul, man. I can't. All right, y'all.